Hello and thanks for joining us. We hope you are having a wonderful evening. I am Isabel Masozera and this is what we have coming up. While concluding the latest edition of the Youth Connect Africa Summit that had been taking place here in Kigali for 3 days, Rwanda's Prime Minister noted that the continent's greatest asset is its young people. The 145th Assembly of the Inter-Parliamentary Union that was taking place in Kigali has now concluded, and participants have committed to introducing gender-inclusive laws. This is RwandaTV News, now top of our edition. While concluding the latest edition of the Youth Connect Africa Summit that was held here in Kigali, Rwanda, Rwanda's Prime Minister noted that the continent's greatest asset is its young people. He pointed out that this is the reason why the Agenda 2063 seeks to reduce unemployment among African youth by 25%.
The young people who attended the summit say they now understand that the continent has many opportunities they should take advantage of, thanks to the advice they were given by different leaders that included President Paul Kagame. Young people must dare to go into politics and business, looking for solutions to the many challenges our countries face, instead of seeing them and our continent as the problem. We are the solution.
All African youth should really stand up and invest in the development of the continent. As His Excellency Paul Kagame told us at the beginning of the summit, Africa is not a continent of just problems, even though they exist. We must get up and build up our future.
Nous devons nous lever, bâtir notre avenir. Je suis vraiment très content et je rends hommage au peuple rwandais. Le peuple rwandais.
I am very happy with and commend the Rwandan people. They are very welcoming and strive for peace. They have no racial segregation and accept you as you are, not caring where you came from, and that is a blessing.
Sans toutefois savoir d'où tu viens, et cela est une bénédiction.
While concluding the latest edition of the Youth Connect Africa Summit that had been taking place here in Kigali for the last 3 days, Prime Minister Dr. Edouard Ngirente noted that the continent's greatest asset is its young people.
We know that the most important resource in Africa is our youth, and in particular, skilled African youth. The African Union Agenda 2063, among others, targets to reduce youth and women unemployment rates by at least 25%. This is why we're working to design and implement policies to increase prospects for young people, particularly through quality education, innovation, and entrepreneurship. Investing in young people is the right thing to do. Over the past few years, through Youth Connect and the other forum, young people have shown that they are keen and ready to build the solutions our countries need.
More than 9,000 young men and women from across the continent had gathered in Kigali for the summit, and the next one will take place in Kenya.
The 145th Assembly of the Inter-Parliamentary Union that was taking place in Kigali has now been concluded, and participants have committed to introducing gender-inclusive laws aimed at enhancing long-term development. Take a look.
The Assembly had convened for most of this week, and the delegates say they are walking away with valuable lessons.
The only thing I will pack to my home, that what I am standing during I was in Rwanda, unity, equality, and consensus. And I'm very happy that how Rwanda grow up as smoothly. It will be the vision for Africa.
To return to our countries and empower more women in parliament. Rwanda is the country first, number one of all the world with women representation. Mexico is number 4. So we need all the countries to have more women quotas all around the world. Another thing is all the challenges in education, in health, economic, after the pandemic, that we have to return to our countries and make laws and public policy to help the situation of economic of our nations.
This is a very serious situation.
It was also stressed that no one should be left behind in the journey towards global long-term development.
We must place vulnerable populations at the center of our work. We must share the care responsibility equally among men and women. Let's set ourselves an example in our societies by undertaking 50% of the daily care work for our families, regardless of whether we are male or female MPs. Ready to do so, Ivan?
Yes, I'm ready. Go, Esperance.
Since Tuesday, more than 1,200 parliamentarians had been deliberating on various issues, and this gathering was supposed to have convened 2 years ago, but was repeatedly postponed because of the COVID-19 pandemic.
Now, moving on, the Secretariat of the African Continental Free Trade Area commends what Rwanda has done in accordance to the pillars and agreement of the free trade and points out that this is an example to other countries. Prince Manzi filed this report.
In his visit at the Kigali Logistics Platform, located in Masaka in the Kicukiro district, the Secretary General of the African Continental Free Trade Area, Wamukele Mene, was shown different activities undertaken, including the technology in loading and unloading containers of goods that went from 14 days to 3 days only. This logistics platform also provides different customs services. The platform, built on a 19,600 square meters, has the capacity of receiving 50 tons per day, approximately 640,000 tons per year, and 50,000 containers of goods. In the special economic zone, located in Masoro, Wamukele Mene visited Volkswagen. He appreciates what Rwanda has achieved.
Rwanda is definitely ready for export market under the AFCFTA. What I have seen this morning here, the auto assembly plant, as well as the logistics facility, it's clear to me that Rwanda is one of those countries that can be an immediate beneficiary from the AFCFTA. But of course, I don't need to convince the government because the government is already fully on board. And as you may be aware, Rwanda was one of the 7 countries who were part of the Guided Trade Initiative, which demonstrates a state of readiness to trade under the AFCFTA.
The directors of the entities visited state that this is an encouragement at the industrial level and towards achieving the goals of the free trade of expanding the production to other African countries. AFCFTA is a great opportunity to us because its purpose is to create a common market, and as we know, it is almost 1 million cows sold in Africa. Countries are small, therefore can satisfy the market, but having a common market will be of help.
I'm happy to say that he is very happy, and he has assured us that if we find any difficulties in any other countries in developing such a platform, he would gladly assist us. This visit is also a benchmark because Kigali Logistics Platform in Rwanda, it offers all the services, and it joins all the dotted services which is required for the successful implementation of AFCFTA in Rwanda and within the region.
The Minister of Trade and Industry, Dr. Ngabitsinze Jean Chrysostome, states that Rwanda benefited a lot from the terms of the African Continental Free Trade Area. We benefit a lot. Even for the Secretary General to have come here is a good sign. Even for Rwanda to have introduced goods in this free trade, including coffee. So Rwanda is among the first to have acquired the certificate of origin, and this helps the coffee produced in Rwanda to circulate all around Africa, and we are planning to introduce other products because we have a long list of goods we are requesting certificates for. It does not only require a product to be good in order to get a certificate, but also having a known origin, good packaging, a letter demonstrating the manufacturer, and also a technological or a modern invoice. Wamkele Mene is in Rwanda for the participation of the Youth Connect Summit to elaborate for the youth about the African Continental Free Trade Area. The main objective of this free trade is to increase the trading between African countries and the deduction of the fee paid in transporting goods from one country to another to a 97% rate. The World Economic Forum demonstrates that the trading between African countries is on a 17% rate, while their trade with the Asian states is on a 59% rate and 68% with the European states. Prince Manzi, RTV News.
Thank you, Prince. The African Continental Free Trade Area promises to lift 100 million people from extreme and moderate poverty by 2035, the majority being women. In an interview with RBA, Wamkele Mene, the Secretary General of the African Continental Free Trade Area, shined a light on how they are ensuring inclusive participation that caters to women entrepreneurs and women-led businesses that make up 70% of the informal trade and the growth of the SME businesses that are up to 80% of the private sector.
This trade agreement must be inclusive. The benefits of this trade agreement must accrue to women-owned businesses, young entrepreneurs. We were at Youth Connect with the minister yesterday. We're going again this afternoon. It's very, very important that we have a trade agreement that is inclusive in terms of its benefits. And so we are now negotiating the protocol on women and youth in trade, because we want to move beyond just aspirations about the importance of women benefiting from the AFCFTA. We want these aspirations of benefits for all to actually be codified into law, so that a woman-owned business that wants to export from Rwanda to Ghana or from Rwanda to Egypt, that they too see the benefits of the trade and this huge market on the African continent. I'm hoping that early next year we will conclude the negotiations of the protocol on women and youth in trade so that we can start implementation. 450 million jobs in Africa are created by small medium enterprises. We know that small medium enterprises are run by women. The majority of small medium enterprises in Africa are women run. And as I've just said, they create over 450 million jobs. This is the heartbeat of Africa's economy. These small medium enterprises contribute close to 60% to Africa's GDP, if not more. So that should give us a very, very strong indication that women-led businesses are actually the drivers of Africa's economy. If we ignore that, we will be doing so at our own peril as a continental economy. So that is why I have made it my priority, with the support, of course, of the Assembly of Heads of States and Government and the African Union Commission. I've made it my priority to make sure that we create opportunities for these small medium enterprises to see the benefits of the AFCFTA.
Well, thank you so much for choosing RTV and for choosing RTV News. Until next time, stay blessed. I'm Isabel Masozera.